Hey guys, Wages of the World here. It is June 6, 2020. Come at you with the video. I'm just going to jump into it. I do have some stuff I want to show you guys. Some crazy looking anomaly on during a solar flare and CMEs that have been going on. Plus a Geoelectric model I've been showing you guys. I caught something on there that's kind of interesting, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth here too. Plus on those CMEs and stuff, I caught like this energy that was generating outside of the sun, and it actually went back to the sun and went out into space at the same time. I'll show it to you so you guys know what I'm talking about, but that's what we're going to be doing today. So this is the Schumann. Like I said, we're going to start here every time, but I want to let you guys know this is our new norm. Okay, this is what it's going to look like from now on. I wouldn't expect to see anything different. It's just going, other than you'll see bigger spikes sometimes. We are getting those pulsating spikes again. Okay, what I call pulsating on-off spikes. The coded line I've talked about before is there. I'm not, see, this is why I think that vertical one we seen the other day, like these over here, because this is from that at the end of that day. You see how it's dashed even vertically? Almost looks like a code. That means it's missing that frequency at that particular data point. Okay, but if you go down here, you're not seeing it. So what was different about this? That right there kind of proves to me that something was going on there unnaturally, number one. That something like that doesn't happen naturally. Okay, that would be something that's being controlled intelligently. Either it's a side effect of something that we're doing, or it's communication of some sort. Okay, that's just my opinion. All right, you can have a different opinion. That's cool. I mean, but my opinion is that. Now, as far as our frequency rising, I can show you right now, observably, the 7.83 has always been there, right, guys? Well, now we got this one always there, too. It never stops. It never goes away. That is provable, observable fact that our frequency has risen. You cannot deny that right there. Okay? It does not stop. You can see it with your own eyes. And I don't usually speak in definitive stuff like this, guys. So when I do, I take it very serious. All right? Just know that. You know, if I think it's just my opinion, I'm going to tell you it's just my opinion. But this is not opinion. This is observable stuff that I can show you. Day after day after day, that frequency is going to stay there. It is staying there. It has not went away for weeks, okay? Plus, we're starting to see it here too, up the next level, all right? And then we're going to start seeing it up the next level, in my opinion. See the difference? That's my opinion. This hasn't happened yet, so I can't say definitively that it's going to, right? Now, unless we know mathematically and all that. I'm not going to go down that road. But anyway, you can tell, guys, this is something that, you know, anybody ask you if the frequency is rising or has risen, you should tell them yes, because it has. And then you should take them over here and show them that it did, and that it still is, and it's not going away, and that it's going to continue to go up, because we can show them that too. Because these lines, you see how we got the fade kind of going to there, then it kind of stops, and it's all blue after that? These are slowly coming closer together. If we go back and we look, and you can go day by day by day, week by week by week, you can slowly, it's what it did up here on this one, okay? And finally it just grew together, and it didn't go away. So, you know, we're left to kind of assume that that's probably what's going to happen there. But yeah, but as far as huge spikes and stuff going on, I'm not seeing any of that. That's one thing I will say. But this is kind of our new norm. This is not quiet by no means. So don't think that it is. If people are starting to feel a little juiced right now, I would understand, because this when I look at a signature like this, I see people getting energized, okay? I see people feeling, you know, either good or even bad on both ends of it. Whatever you're feeling, you're probably feeling the extreme of one end or the other. That's what I'm trying to say. And for me, you know, I try to stay positive, and for that reason, I think I feel it that direction. Other people that aren't so positive kind of lean the other way and they fall into a depression. I do. I've done that myself before, but I've tried to, learn not to do that anymore. And it does take some practice, guys. Don't let nobody tell you it doesn't, because it does. Sometimes you just got to tell yourself it's all good, and keep telling yourself. Sometimes you got to go 1 minute at a time. If that's what you got to do to get through, that's what you do. Okay? And, there's a lot of us here that'll try to help you through any of that kind of stuff, but if you, just try your best to stay positive, what I'm trying to say. There was a new song that just came out on the country charts. It's a collaboration of a bunch of different artists. You guys should check it out. It's talking about the light in the dark. That's what it's talking about because of everything that's going on in our world today. And, guys, it's on point as far as I'm concerned. I may even try to find it and play it for you guys. But, I'm sure you guys are savvy enough you can go listen to it. But anyway, we'll move on. Okay, guys, I got you over at Seeds, and this is on the 4th, okay? And, we can go back to the 3rd where this thing actually started, but we're going to start here. Because you're going to see, and I'll tell you what you'll see. You'll see this CME start on the right side, and you'll see it kind of like shoot really fast that direction. You'll see the red and blue lines, and they'll move really fast to the right. But this thing is like continuously ejecting right now for some reason. It's like it didn't stop, but we'll check it out. So I'm gonna hit start and let you guys watch it here. I am going to speed that up, I guess. I guess I could go faster with it. But yeah, I mean, we can kind of see that. Now watch it. I don't know why it's slowing down like that on me, guys. Just is. That up there, guys, don't forget that that's Venus. Okay, don't just kind of ignore that. But you'll be able to see it shoot out. And it does kind of take a weird shape. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a CME or a solar flare kind of do that shape. But you can see like right in the middle of there too that some extra energy shot off the sun. All right, when it comes back around, I'll point it out to you. I don't know why this thing's moving so fast. There it went. Okay. What we'll do is I'll put an arrow here. Just kind of look about right here, and then I'll tell you when it happens. You'll see it, guys. Hopefully you can see it anyway. The CME will happen first right there. Now watch. Watch what happens. See that right there? Do you see that move through there? Let's reverse it. How about that? Oops. Sorry about that. Well, let's not reverse it. Let's just watch it again. Sorry. Okay, now watch. Here it comes. Right there. See that? That was some extra energy shooting off the sun in the middle of that. Now, there could have been what they call an interplanetary shockwave. What that is it's basically solar wind or solar energy of some sort moving at one speed, and then faster stuff behind it, when it catches up, it slams into it. Okay? And it causes a shockwave. Now, they don't actually collide. All right? That's a myth. Most of it, if it collides, some of it can collide, but most of the time what's happening is the electromagnetic fields of each of those particles start interacting with each other, and that's what causes that shock wave. Now, they just did a paper on that like a year ago, and I've talked about that before, but I think that, right here, that could have happened. It looks like it probably should have happened, but check this out. Let me show you guys this. This was kind of crazy. Again, this is the same day. You're going to see something right here, and you're going to see energy from that point in the middle go that way and back towards the sun. So let me circle this right here. Now watch this. And when it gets there, I'll tell you when it is. Right about, you see that right there? Now watch. See it go both directions? What the heck was that? I don't know. Maybe it came from behind the sun here, or the back side of the sun, and because of our perspective, it looks like it's doing that. Or, was there some sort of whatever there, and that energy went that way? Look at it. You can see two clear balls go both directions. Let me move that over a little bit. We'll zoom in a little bit more and try to see if we can't see it even better. Let's watch it, because you'll see a ball go this way and a ball go this way. Look right in the middle of there. Okay, it's coming. I'll tell you when it gets there. Right about, it's getting ready to happen, I guess. Let's see. Yep, it's getting ready to happen. Right there, see the ball? Right there. And then the other one went the other way. It was actually kind of higher than that. Kind of like right in. This area is where it originates from. It just did it again. Okay. We'll watch it again. Let you guys see it. But it starts there and it peels off that way and that way. All right. I'll tell you when it happens. Right about there. Now watch. See how it went both directions? Now I'm going to zoom out because sometimes you can see it better zoomed out. All right. And I think on this end you can. Yep. It's the middle of it's kind of right there. Now watch what happens right about. Come on, man. Let's get to it. Here we go. Getting ready to happen. Right about now. See how it went both directions? You know, peeled off that way and that way. I just thought that was really interesting. I've seen that happen too with what we call like a whip action. It's kind of like a filament flew off the sun and half of it went back. That does happen from time to time, but this seems to be a little different. Okay, it's almost like this stuff, you know, it traveled to there and then it decided to split. It's just really crazy looking. So, you know, what caused that? Who knows? But with this CME, guys, this is a strange looking CME, like I said before. And so we'll go to the next day. Let's go to the next day. Let's see what we see. Now this is on the 5th, okay? Now what you're seeing here is, you're seeing, this is a solar flare over here. Watch. It's a C3, I think, or a B3. Yeah, see that? See how fast that moved? Okay? Whenever you see a solar flare, that's how fast it's going to move. All right? They move so much faster than a CME. And I can take you over to SDO and I'll show you this solar flare. Because I caught it on SDO. We can see it on SDO is what I'm saying. So, okay, guys, this is SDO. This is from the 4th to the 6th. Okay, that's what's good about SDO over here. If I was to show you this imaging over on ISWA, the definition and the pixelization would be a lot better. In other words, the definition is better. You get a clearer picture. But this here allows us to do a bit more of a longer time lapse. So that's why I'm showing you this one. We'll be able to see it good enough what I'm trying to show you anyway. But here's that sunspot. Okay. That is an official sunspot, by the way. And it is from solar cycle 25, which is significant because it does point more towards us being in solar cycle 25. Now, guys, I told you guys in my last video, I think, that they're going to go and they're going to look at this when we do move into solar cycle 25. They're going to do it retroactively. What that means is they're going to wait for us to go completely into it. Then they're going to go back and look exactly when it started. So the date will change. It'll be before they actually come out and say it. So that's the difference there. But what we're going to see here, guys, yeah, ignore that, guys. I'm sorry. Probably got to see a couple of those during this. But anyway, there was a B3 class flare, I think. And we don't usually talk about these unless they're into C class, because up until when if they're not even in C class range, even if they come directly at us, we usually don't even see any effects of these. I mean, we can see a massive, like, if we get an X flare, like a X, I don't know, X, like, I guess any X really, it could be a global event. In other words, you know, not just the side facing the sun when it happens will be affected, but the whole planet will be, because it'll just go into our system and wrap around us, is what I'm trying to say. It'll probably go into our global circuit and all that kind of a thing, and it would most definitely affect the whole planet. The big X flares will. They do. They've been proven to do so. But that's why we don't talk about, you know, a lot of these little ones that happen, because they simply just don't have much of an effect. Now, if it's during like a place where, like right now, when we really shouldn't be outside of these sunspots and stuff, if you see any kind of flaring outside and during those times, it's worth talking about, because it's showing that the sun's becoming more active. And that's the only reason it's worth talking about, just so you know. But these B-class flares, you know, it did have a B3 class flare, which is, you know, a couple more on up there. I think it goes from 1 to 9. So if we get, you know, it might even have been like a B6 flare. I can't remember. It didn't make it into C class, so I really didn't pay much attention to what the exact number was. But the fact of the matter is, this thing is flaring, and it can have a big flare at any time, as can any part of the sun. So we're going to see that B6 flare, and it's going to happen like right from this part of the sunspot, and you'll see it flick out like that. Now you see that little bright spot? That was kind of a littler one that happened. But when the bigger one happens, I'll tell you, it's getting ready to happen. You'll see it, because it'll go all the way up and through. That was the B6 right there. See it? Now I know it's kind of hard to see sometimes. I get it, guys. Okay, but go look at this tool for yourself, and you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to spend more time, or just slow my video down and, you know, kind of move through it slower, and you know, pause it, see if you can't catch it. But it is still flaring, and that is a true sunspot. So I do look for us to continue to get more and more flares from this thing. But there's something I told you guys earlier on in the video here that I want to talk about, because I've been observing, you know, for about a year now, I guess, that every time these sunspots would come, you know, they come around the edge here and they start rotating this way, right? Well, when they would get about here, let's take that off for a second, about here, from here to here, they seem to die off. Now, you remember how big this one was when it was over here? And you could even see this one here, how big it was when it was off the side there a little bit. It looks as though it might be starting to decay already. And, you know, and I've been saying, hey, you know, when these things become earth facing, why are they, you know, basically going away, or at least severely, you know, dampening themselves? And then when they get to this second, you know, point here, as they get going back that way, a lot of times they regenerate and become more powerful and more substantial. I guess there's some science behind that I didn't even know. So that is actually a thing. I think they call it earth-facing weakening or something like that. So yeah, there's some science behind that, guys. We'll dig into that a little bit more later on. But just know that there's actually a phenomenon called, you know, earth-facing weakness, I guess is what they call it. I was not aware of that. And, you know, I've been observing that already, and I just didn't know why. But that is actual something that is actually something that is. So, but I also want to show you this. Okay, I'm going to take you guys over here to this side, and this is the side the CME was happening on. But check this weird stuff out. Okay, this is like one of the weirdest looking ejections I've ever seen. Okay, watch this energy right here. Look what happens. You see that? It's like, it didn't even look like it came from the sun. I think it did. I'm not saying that it didn't. But man, so I'm going to slow that down a lot. And we're going to take a look at that as it's moving a lot slower. Let's take it back to when it happened. Okay. Let's take it back a little further. So watch what happens right here. Watch this. Okay, you can kind of see where it's coming from right here. But watch what it does. It's like there's a dead space in between where the energy is and where it actually started from. Heck, I might be off. We're up here. Yeah, there we are. Okay, look at this. Watch this. Ain't that crazy? Obviously, it left the sun. I'm not, you know, I'm also not saying that it's anything other than what it is. It's an ejection, okay? But it it does look like it, you know, like I said, it's coming from this area of the sun, but why does it like have a dead space and like kind of hang out in one area for a minute and then take off? I mean, look at that. Okay, watch what it does. See how it gets clear separation and kind of even reaches back. Now I know it's probably magnetism and all that's going on there, but I just thought you guys might like to see that, because that was just all kinds of strange. But that may have been what we've seen inside of that CME. That may have been that second little, you know, bump, because it is on the same side as that CME was happening. We'll check it out here again, but it most definitely looks like it. I mean, obviously we can tell it came from the sun, but my question here is, why did it kind of hover and then take off? Just kind of crazy looking. That's all.